We need about 800 meters of trees for our cattle yard and orchard build. And we didn't want to buy them locally because it's way too expensive. Hardwood is so expensive to buy pre-milled and cut in Tasmania. So we're going to mill these 3 or 4 big dead trees behind us. But first we need to bring them down, cut them up, get them ready and prepared for the mill, which is coming in about a month.
Did you say we need 800 meters of trees?
Did I?
Yeah.
We need 800 meters of trees. Guys, we need about 800 meters of timber railings for our cattle yard and orchard build. Will it be enough?
We've come up to the top of our property here and Juri is going to start felling these. Where are they going to fall, darling?
Okay, so we've got this big cleared area up through here.
Beautifully placed right on the edge here.
Yeah, so because they've been growing on the edge of the forest, all of the branches are on the open side.
Oh, yeah.
So they'll just fall nicely straight out into this paddock.
Yep.
I don't think those 3 trees will be enough, although there's quite a bit of timber in them. We've also got a really big dead fallen one through here that's been down for about 3 years. And then we've got 2 big logs down the back, which I think we'll use. And I think between all of those, that should be enough to get 800 meters. I've never milled trees before, so I don't know, but that's a guess. The first thing you do before you fell any trees is have a competition with your friends or family about where that tree will land and how far up the paddock it will reach. Should we play a little game of measuring the height of the tree and then going up the paddock?
Yes.
To mark where it lands?
Yeah, I'm keen.
The goal is the closest stick to the very tip. Just
I'll get
the
a rock. How about that? I'll get a rock so that my stick doesn't get lost in all the sticks that are about to rain down upon us.
Well, if you get it right, nothing touches the stick because it's 1 inch off the end of the tree.
But some might get flung further, or is that counted?
No, it's just where the bulk of it lands, the end. It's not where all the bits fly.
Seems very ambiguous.
We'd like to have very loose terms and conditions, we do. Let me show you how to do this. So first, you get the stick, you stick it in your armpit, and then you hold it out like that. This isn't a joke, guys.
I feel like it's a joke.
No, in your armpit.
Oh, in my armpit?
Yeah, hold it out like that. And then you hold where the end of it is. And then you take that off and you break the end off. So now the stick is the height of the tree when you walk the right distance away. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Now you hold the stick at arm's length away from your body. You line the bottom of the stick up with whereabouts you'll put the cut on the tree, and you walk backwards, right? Without crashing, or you don't actually have to walk backwards. You can walk forwards and then just do this whole exercise from like over here. 1 stick, 2 stick. That's Monica's stick. You feeling good, Mom?
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
You can reassess. It's not final until the tree falls. So if you start to have a moment of doubt, you can move it in and out a little bit.
Okay, that's nice.
I'm going to reassess mine. I want to walk to the side.
Right.
Get a feel for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a small adjustment.
Closer or further away?
Closer.
Closer?
Yeah.
Bold.
What are we putting on this?
How about if I win, you give me a massage every night for a week?
Wow. I think I might pull out of the competition. You deserve it though, to be fair. We'll let the crowd decide. Comment if you think Monica deserves a massage for a week if she wins this. Special massages?
No.
We have a plan. We can now have a safety briefing.
Excellent.
Dead trees are quite a bit more dangerous to fell than live trees for a number of reasons. Bits can fall out of them when you're felling them. There could be like a branch that's hung up or stuck on something else, and rather than just flex and bend off like a green tree, it just snaps and falls on your head. So as for me, falling in there, it's quite dangerous in a sense that things could fall on my head. So the first thing to do is to obviously have a really good look around, make sure there's nothing hanging, there's nothing entangled in another tree that could snap off when it falls. Secondly, when it lands, it's gonna just shower bits and pieces like all over the local area. So, so bits are gonna fly everywhere. So whilst I might just get you to film from like either out in that paddock once we're like ready to fall it, film from out in that paddock somewhere. The trees are very, very likely going to come this way. There's no real risk of them going sideways too much. So they're all leaning this way quite nicely. So they'll just drop out into this paddock quite easily. So I'm gonna make sure I've got an escape route down here. It's fairly rocky, there's a fair bit of debris and stuff on the ground, so I'll clear a bit of that. And that'll allow me to get well out of the way as the tree starts to come over. I'm gonna put the scarf in, I'm gonna put the back cut in, I'm gonna put the wedge in, a couple of wedges. I'm gonna hit the wedges and start to get it to move, and it'll be a slow process as it comes over. And as soon as it starts to move reliably, I'm going to helter-skelter off into the scrub.
Scurry.
No running, because you might trip over, but just a hasty walk. Does that sound all pretty clear?
A hasty walk. That sounds good.
Mon reckons when I put these glasses on, I look like an architect. Can't even get them on now. Is that architect vibes, or is it just like safety glasses guy?
No, it's architect vibes.
Well,
Not sure what I think of that.
nothing against architects,
No.
but I think I'll stick to my tree felling.
Thought I married an arbitrist. Axe throwing. Remember that time I beat you in axe throwing?
No.
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't recall.
I did.
I have this great skill in life where I can block the trauma out.
It was traumatic for you, wasn't it?
It has been traumatic being with you, yes. We actually need to do something.
Yep.
Time is flying.
Yeah.
We're on a deadline because the guests are checking in about 3 hours. So we've got to get all these trees down and processed before then.
Yep.
Story of our lives. Everything's in a rush.
As usual.
Here, Juri is putting the scarf in. The scarf is the initial cut or notch that, along with a few other factors like weight, rot and limb location, decides the direction the tree will fall. It's a fairly crucial cut and relies heavily on instinct and experience with gauging all the factors at play. Typically, it's a 45 to 60 degree top cut, followed by a horizontal cut to form a wedge that goes about 1/3 of the way through the trunk. Guys, I have the worst cold and my voice just sounds terrible throughout this whole episode. Sorry about that.
Got a little bit of rot. That's probably to be expected right down at the base here where the base flare's happening. It's quite common. There's actually quite a big hollow in there, so makes this even more sketchier. Not that it's a sketchy fall, but I'll put mine in a different spot than where she was going to stand in case it goes that way. Don't want to squash mine. Even if it has this like a rotten tube that goes right up through the centre, there's still a whole heap of good timber on the sides that, I mean, it's just rails. Really doesn't matter too much. Hopefully the other ones are a bit less rotten though.
Now for the back cut. Once Juri's ready and happy with the scarf, he'll make a horizontal cut at the back and slightly higher than where the V of the scarf ends, but not quite meeting the first cut. This essentially makes a hinge and the tree falls in the direction you need it to go, theoretically.
How'd it go?
So good.
It was a lot quicker.
Yeah, it was
I was expecting it to be ages.
it was quite rotten, so
Right.
it like you didn't have to cut as much, it just tore away the timber. But look, how did we go? Who got the closest stick?
Whoa, what are you doing?
Finding the top.
Oh.
That goes on like there. Maybe that piece. Obviously this one.
What? No.
And then it reaches my stick. No, we were both wrong. we were, like it actually came to about here. We were about 2 meters short. But better safe than sorry.
But you were closer.
My father-in-law always says. It's a lot more rotten than we thought.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut the end off, the big rotten end piece,
Okay.
until we get to some reasonable-ish timber. And then we'll measure up from there with the measuring tape and go logs of 8.4 meters long.
Yep. Okay.
Nice.
Good. looks solid.
Spoke about it before, but for any of you new people, Red Bull bottle lids make for the best pourers on these fuel scepters, or Coke bottles. You can use the non-textured Coke bottles, work quite well as well. It just saves so much time mucking around with funnels.
Pro tip from an arborist, an ex-arborist. Have you put the scarf in already?
Yeah.
You're just powering through now. We've got like an hour and a half to get these trees felled. I say we, but it's entirely...
Powering through. That's what we do.
you.
Yeah, the scarf's in. The scarf. I don't know why they call it a scarf, actually.
I think you're on my microphone.
Yeah, scarf's in. The sauce running so sweet today though, it's so sharp. I've seen like a couple of massive huntsmen and one was climbing up above me and I had to flick it off and it stresses me out. Look at that. Not as rotten, this tree.
Good.
But I think a lot better than the other one.
Back in the day when Juri was working on the tools as an arborist, he would come home and he would take off all his PPE and his chainsaw pants. They would sit until the next morning and I would have to wash them. And the amount of spiders and huntsmen and just so many creepy crawlies came out of the pants. They would like, it was phenomenal.
You'd have a shower and then you'd look on the roof and there'd be a massive huntsman and you'd be like, that only came here and it was like in my pants or something, or in my shirt collar.
Yeah.
Stressful when they've been with you all day and then you get home and it's like, oh well.
Yeah.
Where was that hiding?
Where was it hiding?
I'm gonna drop this one, I'm gonna go do the other one, drop that one. Then we'll cut the logs out of them.
Cool.
And just like that, tree number 2 is safely down. So, to recap, clear the area so that you have a safe route to escape any falling debris, put the scarf in, followed by the back cut, and a few whacks of the wedges if needed. And once you hear those first cracks, move a safe distance away. You can see by how well lined up these trees are that Juri's scarves were pretty much spot on.
How about that? This is an unholy mess. Oh, really nice job.
There's some good timber here. There's a fair bit of like Like, you wouldn't use it in your house, but it's good enough quality for rails for a set of yards. Like, absolutely fine for that. So,
Yeah.
so it's great to be able to use it because it's just another resource. Why not use these old dead ones?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's ideal. They're straight, they're dead, they're accessible.
We've got a bonfire. I'm going to finish cutting up here and putting these on the stack. You're going to go down and prep up the bonfire.
Yep, sure am.
Bonfire and dinner.
Yeah, Saturday night, we're just gonna take it easy. We're gonna chill. You'll keep an eye on the time?
Yeah, well, no, I'm just going to get this done, and if the guests are here, the guests are here.
That's fair. Hopefully they're not in the bath when you drive by.
Now that the fun stuff is done, the real work of cleaning up can begin, and that's a process of de-limbing, measuring out the lengths, cutting and stacking the logs.
That's a wrap from me. Got a good stack here. Actually some really good logs. This one in particular is really good. I reckon we'll be able to use all of that along with the rest of that log. That's the lowest one on that whole tree, so there's another 2 past that. I think 12 meters all up, but look, looks fantastic. I think we've got probably about that much again, I reckon, in the couple that have fallen down the back and another one in the bush here. But that's it for me up here. The guests have just arrived. I missed the deadline by about 15 minutes. Yeah, off down the bottom of the property now to get the bonfire started.
This kind of scene is increasingly becoming our preferred choice of downtime. Here in the roaring 40s, clear, calm autumn days are cherished. And every moment of daylight is soaked up for productivity or activity.
Well,
We can still get a full refund this one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, a bit cheaper, yeah.
Like even.
Goodness, bro, what's going on
What?
there?
Yeah, right. There was one where it's not
I think it's this time of year that might be my favourite. I love the scent of wood smoke as heaters begin to be lit again across the valley, and the bite of the air at night, reminding us to bend once again, and with grace, to a Tasmanian winter.
2.5 days.
like $35 as well.
Like crazy.
Really? Yeah, at Anchor. That would have been. Yeah.
Getting cold out there, folks. Winter is almost here. And I'm going to head up the top now and just have a quick look and try and get some exact measurements on how much timber we think we'll get out of these logs. You're a darling. What is it, a hot chocolate? Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you.
Bye.
Gonna take the quad bike up. It's a stunning morning though. It's as good as it gets. A bit of dew around. Straight onto the wet seat. Woo, it's cold. Do you guys burn yourself on like hot drinks in Yetis all the time? I feel like this is a real problem that Yeti needs to address. Because like every time I get a hot drink, Mon makes them notoriously hot though. Every time I get a hot drink, I end up like, I leave it for like an hour and then I come back thinking, oh, it'll be cool now. And then I just take a massive sip and get burnt and it's a total dog. So yeah, maybe Yeti needs to invent like a lid that does like a heat transferring lid for the guys who don't like hot drinks. I think it's mostly guys that don't like hot drinks, yeah? All the women I know, all the women, they all seem to like really scorching hot drinks, and all the guys I know, it's just like, nah, no, I want to be able to drink it. And then I do this. Monica frowns at me. It's not proper. All right, put that there. So, we've got all these logs. I think I spoke about that yesterday. I want to work out how many of these we think we're going to need to get the amount of timber we need. Now, remember, we need about 800 meters of rails. That's for the orchard and for the cattle yards, so that's not just for the cattle yards. But I'd like to roughly get out what we think the average size log is, and then measure that up in the length, and obviously work out roughly how many boards we'll cut out of it. The boards are 150 mil wide by 50 mil deep, so they're quite big boards. We've decided to go a bit bigger than what people usually do, just because, you know, longer lasting, and it'll just be much stronger. So you can see down on this end of these logs, some of them have a little bit of decay. Here's a good example. A little bit of decay through the very center bit. So we'll be able to cut boards out of the edges, but we'll probably have to miss the center. Let's measure them up and get a nice average size for these logs as step one, and then we can work it out from there. Average size is about 600 millimeters. I'd love to tell you that in imperial, but tape measure only has metric. As an arborist, I work with timber pretty much my entire career. However, I've never actually done any milling. I've seen it done a little bit here and there, but I've never really been involved in milling, and I've never really been involved in like logging operations. It's like on the forestry side of the industry. It's always just been like tree care, tree removal in sort of tight spaces in and around like urban environments. So this is fairly new to me, and I absolutely love working with timber. Timber is so cool. I'm not totally up on my milling, but there's a whole heap of different ways to cut a log. They talk about quarter sawing and then plane cutting and various other methods. There's probably like 6 or 7 ways you can mill a log. All have benefits. Like some will cut the timber in such a way that it won't bend and bow as much. Others will maximize efficiency from the log so you can get as much timber out of it as you can. But in our case, because we're only making rails for these yards, I think we just go with like the most efficient option possible. And I don't think we need to worry too much about bending and bowing, because we've got like a lot of posts there, and the posts are quite close together on the cattle yards. I don't think it's going to be such an issue. And look, if they bow a little bit, it really doesn't matter. I think we'll probably end up looking at using the log in the most efficient way possible. Now, I don't exactly know what they'll probably do. Probably they might go with a quarter cut method. But what we'll do, I'm just going to measure this out roughly. We'll probably lose 50 mil on each edge. Hold on. You just stand by. I'm going to mark this out because this is going to take a while. Here's a good example. Like if you were milling timber for like a building site, you wouldn't be cutting into this outer edge here, because that's like the soft growth wood, the cambium layer of the tree. I need to talk to the milling guy when he turns up. I'll draw this out, and I'm keen to get his thoughts on it when he gets here, because this might just be a total mess. And you can probably roast me in the comments down there below, because I feel like there's a whole heap of guys that have probably milled a stack of timber and they're looking at this and they're like, no, Yuri, bad luck, hey? I'm just going to draw it on there and we're going to work it out as we go, like I do with everything in life. I'm a big fan of biting off more than you can chew and then chewing really fast. Yeah, the guy who does the milling, he did say we'll try and get some other little bits. So we use a lot of like droppers, timber droppers on fences around here. So he's going to cut a whole stack of those out of the bits like that and like this here that we can't get a full-size board out of. But that's a lot of boards, guys. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 32 full-size boards, 150 millimeters by 50 millimeters out of one 600 millimeter log. 600 millimeter log that's 4 meters long That's 128 meters of rails just out of this. Times that over 8. That's 1,000 meters. That's a kilometer. 1,024 meters of timber just in the logs I've got here, and I've got another this again. So we're actually going to end up with like probably way more timber than we need. Now let's just assume that I've overestimated this and we'll lose 30%. 720 meters already just from this. So even with a 30% margin of error, we've got enough timber in all of these logs just about to get the cattle yards and the orchards done. That's pretty promising. Let me just try this again. Also, you know what? Since I got stung in the throat by the wasp, I think I swallowed a European wasp. Felt something chunky go down, and then now it feels like it stung me in my throat.
What about your lips? Any swelling like higher up?
If it gets worse, I'll probably get you to call an ambulance. Really? Yeah. I now leave the lids closed on my Yeti because it's wasp season around here now. And that's resulted in these drinks never cooling down. Ah, it's good though. All right, cool. That's a lot of logs. I'm going to go down to the bush here. I've got another 3 good sized logs down in here. Big dead. Oh wow, that's some cool fungi. Look at this. I'm not going to touch it because it's probably off. That's epic. Jesus, that's real random, that is. No, I've got to touch it now. Oh, it's disgusting. It feels exactly like you'd imagine. So much cool fungi around here at the moment. I'm supposed to be driving home, but I've just been sitting here and it's such a stunning morning. I'm reluctant to go home. I've got a bit of office work to do and I really don't want to do it. I hate office work. Yeah, so I've just been sitting here looking at these logs and with the warm sun and the birds. Man, the birds here are so amazing on these nice days. You might be able to hear them. Guys, I got to say, like, man, we've had a heap of new subscribers lately and a whole stack of people watched a few of those recent videos, and yeah, thanks so much for supporting the channel and jumping on board. It's great having you along, hey. Yeah, no, thanks heaps. Thanks heaps. It's been a heap of fun. We recently bumped into a whole stack of you whilst we were out and about, and it's just so cool catching up with just different people from different walks of life, and yeah, just getting to know you all. So I think that's probably going to wrap this video up. Mon's down there editing at the moment like a legend. She's knocking out the next one. Yeah, not sure what that one is, but I think probably that one or the one after that will be the milling of this timber, because the guy's due to come in about a fortnight. We'll get this timber milled and that'll tell us exactly how it goes and how much we ended up with, which I'm super excited about, because then we can get stuck back into the old cattle yard build. We've got a time limit on the cattle yard because we've got these cows that need to go to market. So one of them's actually getting butchered this coming weekend. It's graduating to the freezer, so that's a bit exciting. And the other 3 will be going off to market. It's a bit sad. Anyway, future videos coming up, heaps of exciting things. Stay tuned. I'm gonna go for a buzz back down to see Monica, tell her the exciting news that we're gonna end up with like 1.5 kilometers of timber out of all of the logs, including the ones down the back. So we'll see you in the next video, guys. Oh, buddy, why isn't this starting?